Hello, welcome to Just Go With It. My name is Ben. That is Jared, and we just watched Godzilla, the first of the MonsterVerse movies. And I am thrilled. Like I don't. It's these movies are just fun for me. Like they're stupid, a billion plot holes, but I don't care. There's just fun.
Yeah. I knew you were really looking forward to going into this series before we started watching it because I made you watch all the Oscar movies, and then I promised we'd get some good, just like mind-numbing
Stupid fun.
movies, yeah, after. And it helps that the new Godzilla and Kong movie is coming out at the end of this month. So I thought we'd go through and review all of these movies before that one comes out. Because this is the only one you've seen, right?
I think so. Yeah. What's the second one?
Kong, Skull Island.
Yeah, then I don't. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Okay. Um, but anyway, on to Godzilla 2014. So I remember seeing this in theaters back when it came out and being very underwhelmed by it because there was a lot of hype going into this. I think the trailers kind of misrepresented what it was because it like only showed the monster stuff, but
Yeah.
there's very little monster stuff in this. I would say there's about
Yeah.
like 20 minutes of monster stuff in this. So going into
Yeah.
it, I was like 13 when this came out, and I was like, man, this is long. And now watching it again, I'm still kind of like, man, this is kind of long. But
Yeah.
but
See, I felt it as long, but I still liked it. Like I don't know.
that's my point. I did enjoy it more. Now I think I've seen it like one other time besides seeing it in the movies, but I did like it more this time. I was more intrigued. I was more like interested in the plot, and I knew what I was expecting. I knew what I was getting into. I knew like, okay, Godzilla's not gonna like show up until like the first hour of the movie.
Yeah, I felt like it should have been called Godzilla. It should be called what were the name of those things? Moto. I keep calling them
Moto,
motos. They're,
yeah, Mutu or Motu or something like
whatever
that.
they're
Yeah.
called. It should be called
Mhm.
that because like it's about them. It's not about Godzilla. It really
Yeah,
isn't.
yeah.
And I just
But
like it's. I don't know. It's like why we keep focusing on this human dude. I get you need characters, but like I don't care about him.
yeah, yeah.
I cared about Hal from Malcolm in the Middle more than him.
But like you said this a few times. The main character Ford, who's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, he just doesn't show emotion very well,
Yes.
I thought.
There were
And
several like sad scenes and he's just like he just
yeah,
sits there.
yeah.
I'm
And
like,
it was just like,
really?
and see, I like him as an actor. Like, I like some of the stuff he's in. Like, he's in Kick-Ass. He's the main guy in Kick-Ass. He's in Age of Ultron, and in he's about to be Kraven, the Hunter, in the new Kraven movie.
I mean, huh.
Yeah, but I do also like. I mean, Elizabeth Olsen's in this. I love her. She's great. And then, like you said, Bryan Cranston, Hal, is in this. I love him as an actor.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. So there's good actors in this, but it just feels like they didn't put a lot of effort into making you care about the characters. It's like they tried some, but it just didn't work. At least for me.
Here's the thing. If they did take the time, put the effort, everybody would be complaining that this is a Godzilla movie. Why are we focusing on these characters? And I think that's why they moved through it so fast. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said it take a long time, but a lot kind of happens in that
Yeah.
span. You know,
No,
there is no
it
moment where they
does.
just sit down. You know,
It does. It's like a lot happens, but it doesn't mean anything because it's like the end result's
Yeah.
still the same. The monsters are still gonna fight at the end, and it's like that's what's gonna happen.
I feel
Nothing
like
they do
the whole
changes that.
beginning bit with the power plant, it could have been like half as long or even cut out altogether. You probably could have worked something else in there. I think
Mm,
it could have been a small thing, a la Jurassic Park when the shoot, that whole scene that took like 5 minutes maybe. It could have been
hmm
like that, a quick, something real quick and simple like that. And we
See
still would have
that
got just as much emotional impact.
that part I actually liked. I actually thought was more interesting than like the whole middle bit. The whole middle bit when they were just trying to figure out like, oh, how are we gonna kill this thing? What are we gonna do? Where's it going? What's going on? We're gonna nuke it. No, we're not gonna nuke it. Like all that. That's what I was like. Oh my god! Like I am getting so bored right now. The whole part where I almost said how. The whole part where Bryan Cranston is like, I know the government's like hiding this conspiracy, something's going on, they're covering something up, and then they like figure out that, well, like I won't get into spoilers or anything yet, but just that
10-year-old
whole
movie.
plot section, yeah, I know, but still, that whole plot section, I really found enjoyable. I like that kind of stuff, like government secrets and stuff, and trying to figure out what's going on. But
See, I was gonna say, I feel I hear you, but at the same time, it's a Godzilla movie, not a government conspiracy movie. Like get to Godzilla. I
yeah,
understand the importance of seeing that whole scene, and it was done really well, like you said. But like, it's a Godzilla movie.
yeah.
Like,
I'm just saying, I prefer that over the whole middle chunk where they're just like following Godzilla in a boat behind him as he's moving, and they're just like, "We're gonna follow this guy. Oh, he's
it,
diving. Oh, he's going under. Oh, we're gonna lose him."
it felt like there was three separate scenes. They're like, "How are we going to kill this thing?" I'm like, why is this happening three times?
Yeah,
It was weird. And Godzilla just showed up.
hmm
Like there was no lead up. There was nothing. They were just like, oh yeah, we've known the whole time. Here he is.
yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, I say let's get into worth your time, and then we'll go to spoilers.
Okay.
Okay,
You want to go first or me?
I'll go. So I think it's worth your time if you have 2 hours and you're just like, man, I just want to watch something kind of like whatever, just kind of like dumb fun, you know. If you like monster movies, if you like destruction, this movie has that. But I don't think this is the best of the MonsterVerse movies. Like, I'm really excited to get in some other ones, but I do think this one's pretty solid and stands on its own, and I think it's worth its time.
So I'm taking it in a literal sense that no, it's not worth your time. And what I mean by that is this is a solid trash movie. I mean, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, there are cool bits, but the actual plot is kind of trash.
yeah,
Um, that being said, sometimes you just want some trash, man. Sometimes you just want to be Oscar, all up in that trash, you know. But if you're looking to watch this as like just a movie, no. The only
yeah,
reason you'd be watching this because you want monsters. That's it. It's
yeah.
not a good movie. I cannot. I can't even say maybe because judging it as a movie, it's not really worth your time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, spoilers.
okay.
Spoilers
Yeah,
all the way.
spoilers. So many plot holes. Oh my goodness. Why the frick are they shooting at this giant, like, ginormous
Okay.
monster
You can't
with
even complain about that one because literally every single monster movie, freaking Transformers movies, they're like shooting at the Transformers or the Decepticons and stuff. Like yeah, it's just movie logic, movie soldier logic. Shoot the
you
giant thing.
you watch this monster walk through a building and you think your little bullet's going to penetrate? Like,
But it's like, what else are they gonna do? You know?
I don't know, not put 50 dudes there just to die? Shoot it from, with your intercon, like, with missiles from a distance? There's a billion other things you can do. It's
Yeah.
like this should not be. You should not have infantry on the ground fighting this thing at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid.
Okay. Beside from that plot hole, one thing I want to
One of
complain
many.
about is the fact that they had Bryan Cranston as an actor for this movie, and then they
Yes.
completely wasted him and killed him
Yes.
off in the first 20 minutes of the movie. Like, I know this has been a complaint. I know people who have seen this movie already complained about this, but I don't care. It's my turn. You have Bryan Cranston. You have him as an actor in your movie, and he gives the best performance of the whole movie, and you kill him off. Like, I'm sorry, no. Get another random dude to be that guy's dad, and get Bryan Cranston to be like the general or something. Like, get
No,
him to be friggin' some other scientist or something who lives through the movie.
they could bring him back.
Mm,
I
I
mean,
don't think
like,
so.
I mean, he died, but it wasn't like, hole through the chest death. It was like a. So he could just be in a coma,
Nah, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Okay, but they could like just be like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we put him in a coma, but he knows like a lot of information, so we like kept it a secret. Something stupid like that, which they could easily do in this kind of movie. But like how many movies deep? I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, this is the next movie that comes out is movie 5, I want to say. So
Dang.
yeah, but I will say the final battle is pretty freaking awesome.
Yes, I mean, obviously it would have to be.
Yeah,
But that's
but
the reason people are watching these movies.
they just, I don't know, they did better than I think I was giving them credit for, because the freaking atomic breath, holding the mouth open, and then just his neck just like falling off. Oh my god. I could watch that again and again. That part is so freaking cool.
I'm curious to see if this is the first of this series. And like what the last like American Godzilla movie was, what, 2000 or something like that? Like it was that really crappy
2000, 2001, something like that. Yeah. With Matthew Broderick.
That weird looking Godzilla that does not look like Godzilla at all.
Well, see, the thing with that one is they made it was Godzilla was a lizard, and that he like went to radiation and he became this giant monster, and that's why like he didn't have atomic breath, he didn't have anything like that. But in like Japanese lore, he's supposed to be like a kaiju. He's supposed to be like something different, He's not just a lizard who came across some radiation. He's supposed to be something special. And this, it was just like, he's a gecko.
Force of nature, yeah.
Yeah. He's a big gecko.
She's a big gecko. She had children, remember?
You're right. My bad.
And he knew she was pregnant because he used a human pregnancy test.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
about
that.
On a giant lizard.
I forgot about that. Oh my god.
He needed about 800 pregnancy tests to figure this out. Don't know why. But yeah,
that was a bad movie. It wasn't good.
I like that movie not because it's good, but because it's just so stupid.
Like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was a kid, I watched that a ton. Like I've seen that more than I've seen this one.
You know what? This Godzilla movie, especially the monster in this movie, not Godzilla, obviously that one I can't remember the name of. It reminded me of
the
Cloverfield.
Villain monster. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Matu or something. I think it's Matu.
I haven't seen Cloverfield in a long time, but it reminds me of Cloverfield.
It does look like the Cloverfield monster. And see,
it almost could be the same monster.
Here's my thing with this one. This monster was unmemorable. Like, there's so many memorable Godzilla villains, I guess, aka, that you could have brought in, Like, and they just choose this one. This one's just kind of like a nothing.
They literally made it up.
Yeah. Is this one an original for this?
No, I believe it is. I think I looked it up, and it was. I could be misreading this, but I could have swore I read that they made it for this movie. Like it didn't exist
Okay.
beforehand. Probably because
See,
they
I
didn't have
could
the
see
rights to any
that.
of the other ones.
I could see that. But see, okay, little spoiler. Then not really, it's not a spoiler, but just kind of like a little hint as to what to come. The sequel, King of the Monsters, they put in everybody. It's like all the villains, and it's like,
Well, yeah, they're like, okay, yeah, this is doing something. Here, have all the rights, you know.
yeah, but it's just like, man, you're really just gonna throw everybody in this one movie?
It
But
kind of makes less of an impact when there's that
yeah,
many.
exactly. But
I haven't seen him yet, so I can't exactly judge it. But like
I know I always forget the name of my favorite one. My favorite one's like King. It's the three-headed dragon.
Ghidorah,
Yes, King Ghidorah. He's the freaking
the
coolest.
space dragon
The
that
space
literally
three-headed
comes from like
dragon.
another dimension or something.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a freak.
He's
He
freaking awesome.
is. I watched.
But
Oh my goodness.
the next one in this series is Kong Skull Island, like I said, and that one takes place in like the 70s. And I think that one's probably my favorite out of the four that are out so far.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like really good. Um, and I might prefer King Kong over Godzilla. I'm not 100% sure, but I might. We'll get more into that before we watch Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. So it was weird because in this movie, it's called Godzilla, obviously, because they have to call it Godzilla, even if he's not in it that much, because there's no other reason you would watch it.
Yeah.
But it didn't focus on Godzilla, which was weird. And
Yeah.
Godzilla wasn't like, again, he wasn't the focus, but he wasn't also like the big monster.
Yeah.
Which normally you would think they never. Used to seeing them try to fight Godzilla, and they just didn't. I mean, they did a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
Which was I thought that was strange.
Yeah.
How they just like I don't know. It was how they championed this monster king of monsters as their hero when he never really was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt weird.
Yeah. I guess it's like the lesser of two evils, I guess. I don't know. Like, Godzilla is also a giant monster who destroyed half the city. But for some reason, he just doesn't want to kill random humans.
It's so weird because when you just look at Godzilla, it's like, okay, this is a giant monster. It's scary, it's freaky, it's wild. But then you look at like Godzilla lore, and he is literally the hero.
Yeah.
Like he saves Earth, like he saves humanity several times from the other monsters.
Originally, when Godzilla was created in the original like Japanese movie, it was what's the word? It was supposed to represent nuclear warfare. It was supposed to represent America dropping the atomic bomb on Japan. So that's why like the original Godzilla movie is just about this giant lizard that was affected by, or not lizard, but kaiju that was affected by nuclear energy and destroys Tokyo. Like, that's why
Go Godzilla.
he was, yeah. That's why he was just like this crazy monster who like destroyed the city. And there wasn't another big monster or anything in the original Japanese movie. And then they just kept making more and more monsters because it got bigger and bigger, and it was an icon.
Like
and then America was like, sure, we'll take it. We'll take this this representation of us dropping a nuclear bomb on Japan, and we'll make it an American hero. But I don't know. Either way, like I said, I do somewhat enjoy this movie. It's not great. I don't love it, but I like it. You know?
It's one of those movies that you watch, like, I don't know, so often just because I want to watch something stupid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like relax and just like turn your brain off and just be like, violence.
Yeah, because you really don't have to pay attention.
Like
during this movie.
Buildings being destroyed, monsters fighting. I mean, it's a kid's dream. Like, come on now.
Okay, you want to give it a rating?
I was gonna say, as much as I love to keep talking about this, we probably should conclude. Okay, I'm gonna be pretty critical because I already said no. It's not really worth your time. It's a pretty trash movie. like as a movie itself. So I'm gonna say 4.
Dang, you're so much more critical than I am.
Well, I'm looking at it as a movie, not just
No, I
as
know.
fun, you know?
No, I know. But I don't know. I think I'd give it a 6. I think the performances are good. I don't think the story's great, but I think the visuals are incredible. I think this one thing I want to mention too. I think the sounds so good. Like that sound of like Godzilla powering up his breath and stuff. That like whoa, 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 and how it gets like bigger and bigger. Oh my god! And then the roar. The roar is incredible too. You know,
I
like
like how they would make it real quiet just before like the big, noise explosion or roar or whatever, is kind of like anticipating what's going to happen. I thought that
yeah,
was pretty cool.
yeah. So like I said, I think it's a 6. But do you want to know what we're watching next?
I mean, yeah, it's Kung Fu Panda 2.
Okay, cool. You knew.
Like,
Whatever.
like
I didn't spoil
yeah.
that. He just knew.
I mean, yeah, we said we're cycling between 3 series all at once: Kung Fu Panda, Ghostbusters, and then like
I should have just threw something
MonsterVerse.
random in there.
Oh my
To throw
goodness,
you
I'd be
off.
so mad because I just want to get to more MonsterVerse.
All right, so next up is Kung Fu Panda 2. I really don't remember that movie at all. And I'm not sure if I'm going to like it as much as the first, but either way, I'm
A
just
lot
going to
more
have to go with it.
emotionally impactful. God dang, I was
You
middle
messed me up.
talking, and yeah, you're just
I
gonna
was
have
in the
to go
middle of
with it.
talking. I was.
Yeah. Goodbye.